Greetings, everybody. Nickie Brown here. No matter where you are and what part of the world you are in, I hope that you're having a good day. So, eating some walnuts, a little bit of sea salt on them. I'm gonna talk about the Will Smith slap, right? I just got finished watching an episode of In Living Color. Where they said Keenan Ivory Wayans predicted this happened because he did do a skit. And it was actually kind of funny. I'm not sure what I think about it right now or how I feel about it. I do know that Will immediately apologized after the fact. He wrote a statement, I think on Twitter or Instagram, whichever, apologizing. But then he was at a party, partying it up afterwards as well. Just enjoying his life and enjoying his win because he actually did win the Oscar. And he is an amazing actor, right? Chris Rock declined pressing charges with LAPD, which I'm kind of not surprised about. Chris Rock is an Aquarius, and he handled it the way he handled it. We can be diplomatic at times. We can go from 0 to 1,000 at times. It all depends on the situation and whatever, he was on national television. He would have embarrassed himself, I think, if he would have responded any other way. I think it could have quickly turned left and escalated into something that it really didn't need to be in the first place. I do agree that we can't. So the thing about it is, when Chris Rock first said the joke, Will Smith actually laughed until he saw how Jada responded to it. Now, apparently, they have some history of Chris Rock making jokes about him and Jada, but he's a comedian, so he's made jokes about a lot of people. I don't think it was. Now, I could be wrong. I would think that, though, Chris Rock likes Jada, and this is maybe one of the reasons why he's made several jokes about her, and not the other way around. Because a lot of times people poke fun at people that they admire, actually, right? But I feel like Will's reaction is potentially based on him taking his frustrations out on Chris Rock. Again, based on how Jada responded. And potentially, maybe it was a buildup of some of the other jokes he's made over the years. I don't know. But I think that, and we don't know how Jada feels about it. I haven't heard anything about that yet. And again, they were partying at one of the Oscar parties, right? And Puffy made a joke, oh, we're going to settle this as family afterwards, right? But I still wonder if that was an appropriate way to handle a joke. And the other ironic part is Will Smith was on the Arsenio Hall show back in the day. So this had to be like in the 90s, right? And one of the band members was bald. And he made a joke about the band member. Didn't care, he doesn't know what that band member's condition was or how he felt about it. But he sat there and clowned that man for being bald. So then you have to ask yourself, was that his karma coming back around? If it were my husband, I think I would have felt, I think I would have, I think I even heard her response like, oh wow. Same kind of response she had basically when Chris Rock said the joke. I think it was unexpected and caught a lot of people off guard. Um, I think it would be a double edged sword for me though. Slightly having a sense of pride that my husband defended me, and again, people have said, people complain that black women don't get defended, right? We are not, black men don't, in general, take up for us and stand up for us. So then when we see an example of that, we have a problem with it. And we can't say how somebody should respond. But on national television, I think there would have also been a sense of embarrassment. I don't know. Did he not have the ability to stay calm in that moment and pull him to the side later on and say, "Yo, man, I didn't appreciate that." Even if he had to cuss him out. No, I didn't appreciate that shit. Don't be talking about my fucking wife, right? Couldn't he have done that later on? Did he really have to get up and then loudly, he said it at least twice, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth? Yeah. And then he said it again. And again, as a funny guy himself, he did the same thing in the 90s on the Arsenio Hall show. He doesn't know if that man had male pattern baldness and had to cut his hair. He didn't know if that man felt uncomfortable with having a shaved head and having to be bald. When maybe some of his peers have a head full of hair. Arsenio Hall certainly did. He did it. He still does have a head full of hair. And when the audience said, oh, they kind of had mixed opinions about it. Some people laughed and some people were like, oh, that was kind of fucked up type of reaction. He said, oh, that's just jokes. So why wasn't it just a joke when Chris Rock did it? And it wasn't even, I don't know. It was a G.I. Jane joke. Now, I'm going to tell you, and I don't know if Chris Rock knew ahead of time. I didn't know anything about her having alopecia. I didn't know anything about her having any type of medical condition because I don't really watch. I'm not into Hollywood like that, right? I watch a lot of documentaries. Um, I watch some YouTubers. I do watch her Red Table Talk every once in a while if I feel like it's a good topic. But I don't follow her to know that that's what she was going through. So I didn't know she had alopecia. So for me hearing the joke coming from a comedian, I felt that the reaction was unwarranted and unnecessary. I still feel like he could have handled it a different way. But again, I do understand the people that are saying you can't tell a man how to defend his wife. And also, I think he was taking his frustrations out on him because of some other things that they may be going through or dealing with. And or it could be a buildup of some of the other jokes he said about Jada over the years. And based on her response, he felt some kind of way. So he felt like he had to, you know. It's really immature, actually. When you feel like you got to flex like that. And then they said Denzel and Tyler Perry pulled him to the side afterwards because he could have handled that a different way. Who do you feel like you need to? Who? Why do you have to feel like your ball? You have to prove your balls are big, and slap somebody. That's just a question. Again, I appreciate the gesture that he defended his wife. But again, could it have been done a different way? Like I said, I'm going to keep it real. I would have been embarrassed. Because I want a man that treats women with respect, but at the same time, I want a man who treats everyone with respect. And really, that was disrespectful. You really pimp slapped that man. And I'm not laughing. It's not funny. It's really not funny. But some of the things that come out my mouth sometimes it could catches me off guard too. But he really pimp slapped that man on national TV in front of everybody, in front of all his peers, and on national TV. Like the Oscars is like a global event. Like people in Italy and other European countries watch the Oscars. And you really jap slapped the shit out that man on national TV in front of everybody and in front of all of his peers, in front of his own wife. But Chris Rock took it on the chin and handled it very maturely. Now, some people say it was a publicity stunt. Like it was fake, it was just acting. Maybe both of them coming out with a movie or something, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like that's what it was. It seems like Will had some other stuff going on, and he took his frustrations out on Chris Rock based on Jada's response. Because again, his first reaction was a laugh. He was laughing. He thought it was funny too. And then, what's her name? Lolita. She was she was just sitting there with her mouth open. And it's funny because Will Smith has prided himself on being like a non-violent rapper. Like he was the bubblegum pop de bop, rapper. Um, uh, um, Parents just don't understand, and the Men in Black. You rarely heard him curse in any of his films. Like he did his best to be a model citizen and a role model, for the youth, and even for his own peers. He did his best to be that. So it really was unexpected and caught a lot of people off guard. But then you come to understand that, some of the things that him and his wife have been through. Him admitting that, there was a time when he thought about committing suicide. Um, you know, Jada publicly having an entanglement. Not that it was public, but the news about it became public. Um, you know, but Will has done his dirt too. So there you go. And we've always heard ever since they got married that they have an open relationship. So it was fair game. That's the relationship they established. I don't know if as the relationship progressed, they were still in agreement with that, because you can say one thing, but then you kind of hope that your spouse doesn't take advantage of that opportunity to participate openly in other relationships. However, but if it's an open relationship, it's an open relationship. So she was free to do what she wants, and he was free to do what he wanted. I don't necessarily remember his being public, but maybe her being a woman and dating a significantly younger man, it became public. And it became a big deal. And even on her Red Table Talk, he mentioned something about getting her back. And she was like, I think you've got me back plenty. I think we're even. But I think it was, the embarrassment of it all. But again, they agreed to have an open relationship. And that has been known since the beginning of their relationship over 20 years ago. Um, and I've not seen the film G.I. Jane, but it was a very popular movie. And I think that was Demi Moore. Demi Moore is a very pretty woman. Jada's a very pretty woman. And alopecia or not, no alopecia, a lot of women are shaving their heads bald. And again, I didn't know anything about the alopecia. That whole family does unexpected things with their hair, with, you know, the way they dress and everything. So for me, it was just another fashion statement. Because even Willow shaved her hair off. Now, I didn't realize it was in solidarity. But again, I just figured the both of them decided to shave their head bald. Like, maybe part of the natural hair movement. They were going to shave their heads bald and not put any more color or chemicals or anything in their hair. Had no idea. So for the people who didn't know anything about that, and him just saying this G.I. Jane joke, for a whole lot of people was funny. Again, Will laughed when it was first said. So did Chris Rock really deserve to get the shit slapped out of him? I'm just, what? Let me ask that question again. Wait a minute. What? Hold on. Now, did Chris really deserve to get the shit slapped out of him? I'm just asking. Hello. Was that really necessary? Child. I think that was a whole hot mess on national TV. But you ain't heard that from me. But I am glad that Chris Rock was the mature one. Again, Team Aquarius, he didn't press charges. And, people gonna talk about this shit for a long time. At least this is the weekly topic. It is another distraction, and it's keeping people, from being focused on some of the more important things that are going on in life. But as for now, this is what's going on. But I commend Chris Rock for not pressing charges. And I give Will a pat on the back for apologizing immediately after it happened. I don't know if it was a result of Tyler and Denzel talking to him, or if he, came to that conclusion on his own. But at least he did offer an apology. I think he should call Chris Rock on the phone and apologize. Or even, some other type of public apology. Because he slapped the shit out of him. He brought it back from here and brought it all the way back to the front, honey. And that didn't make no sense. Again, we can't tell that man how to defend his wife, but I think he could have handled that a different way. I'm just saying. You don't take your frustrations out on people. That's kind of messed up. Because whatever you got going on in your household, your marriage, or in your personal life doesn't have anything to do with a comedian telling a joke on stage at the Oscars on national TV. Come on, man. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. Um, that's all I gotta say. Later.